Well, good Saturday morning to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Tom Kelly. I'm a representative of John Hancock, and I will be your presenter for this plan overview on the Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters Supplemental Retirement Plan. I'm joined today by Sherry Babowski of the Fund Office, and she may participate from time to time, adding a few things as she sees fit, or maybe helping me with questions that come up. We're
Good morning, everyone.
Thanks, Sherry. We're a couple minutes past the hour, but we're still getting a number of people that are logging in. Sherry, do you want to wait another couple of minutes before we start, or just let people catch up when they join in?
Maybe let people catch up when they join in. Everybody got a few reminders and even a reminder an hour ago. So I think you're good to go, Tom.
Thanks, Sherry. So we'll be going into a PowerPoint presentation that'll take about 35, 40 minutes, my guess is. And you might have questions. Due to the size of the group today, we've decided to save questions until the end. We'll have a dedicated question and answer session at that point. So I appreciate you holding your questions until that. Also, a quick FYI, we are recording this webinar this morning, and we have a lot to cover. First, what I'd like to do is tell you a bit about my company, John Hancock. Even though many of you have probably attended one of our educational sessions before, and perhaps I have had the chance to meet you individually as we, prior to this pandemic, would like to get together and do individual consults in addition to these groups education meetings. Unfortunately, this year that's been impossible, but hopefully next year we can get back to some type of normalcy. So again, some of you listening may have heard some of this information in past presentations. So I appreciate your patience as we go through some material that, again, you might already be aware of, and hopefully I can share something that is new and of value to you. After telling you a little bit about John Hancock, I'd like to explain why it's important to have a plan or a strategy to help you reach your retirement goal. Then I'll review some of the more relevant and important features of your CRCC Supplemental Retirement Fund. Many of you refer to it as the annuity fund. And we'll finish by talking about some of the key features, benefits, and resources associated with your retirement plan. Let me start, though, by telling you a bit about John Hancock, your retirement plan provider. We're based out of Boston. John Hancock's been around since 1862. It started at that point as just a regional provider of insurance, but of course, over the years, the company's expanded to include so many other things, including mutual funds, financial services, retirement plans. The retirement business was launched in 1937. Today, John Hancock serves more than 40,000 retirement plans and 2.8 million participants nationwide. We emphasize, as you hopefully are aware, we emphasize education and communication, and we provide multiple retirement and financial wellness planning tools and resources, especially on our website, designed with you and your financial future in mind. So again, we have been proud to be your administrator rather of your annuity fund now for a number of years, and we'll continue to do everything we can to meet, if not exceed, your expectations as we move forward together, again, especially in these strange times that we're in. You know, whether you're just getting started in your career, maybe approaching retirement, or somewhere in between, having a retirement plan is important and is something we should all have. there's an old saying in my business that no one ever plans to fail, they just fail to plan. So the question is, how do you start one? Well, as silly as it might sound, having a dream is as good a place to start as any. Dreaming about how you envision your life's going to be in retirement is something that we all do from time to time, and it's fun to visualize the possibilities. You might be thinking about travel, pursuing hobbies, spending time with family or friends, volunteering with a charity that is near and dear to your heart. But the lifestyle that you wish to have in your retirement is going to largely dictate the amount of income, the amount of money that you'll need during that part of your life. So by starting to envision how you're going to live in your retirement, you can also start putting together a financial plan for your retirement. By the way, in this GoToWebinar meeting, there are a number of handouts that you'll find as attachments, and they include a website navigation flyer, some information about an advice tool I'm going to tell you about, some information about our mobile app that you can put on your phone, a budgeting worksheet, and a retirement planning checklist that you might find helpful. And that's why I bring it up now. Honestly, though, folks, you likely have a big leg up on most Americans and their ability to retire. I say that because as a member of CRCC, you have a well-earned pension plan, as well as this supplemental annuity plan to utilize for your future retirement income. Meanwhile, across the country, many people don't have either, and they're going to need and depend on their own savings to make up a big piece, a necessary piece of their retirement income needs. Still, most people, including some of us here today, will end up needing to rely on other sources of income as well to have the type of retirement that we want. And it's important to start realizing what other income sources you may have available to you if you're ever going to put together a realistic financial retirement plan. So as you see here, some possible additional income sources may include other retirement savings, like an IRA perhaps, your home equity. Maybe you plan to sell your home at retirement to move someplace less expensive. A part-time job, while many of us think of retirement as never having to work again, punch in another day, you might be surprised to know that some people enjoy working. If not in the occupation you're in now, maybe some other field you have an interest in. There are a lot of benefits associated with it. You stay active, socially engaged, and the fact that you're picking up a paycheck is it's just one more potential bonus. Other potential income sources might be an inheritance or rental income. Maybe you have rental property you derive income from, and of course a social security benefit. While most people expect to receive Social Security, on average, it only replaces about 35% of pre-retirement income. So in other words, when you retire, it's seldom a case of your pension and your annuity plan picking up your entire monthly income needs. Now I'd like to take a look with you at your supplemental retirement plan, often again referred to as your annuity plan, and some of its main features. Eligibility in the plan, as you probably know already, is immediate and automatic. And each month you begin receiving pre-tax contributions in your account from your employer. These monthly contributions are based on the amount of hours that you work that month. The hourly contribution rate you receive from your employer is part of your collective bargaining agreement. Please keep in mind, everybody, that this annuity plan does not accept contributions that you might like to make to it. It's exclusively employer funded. The plan offers you an extensive lineup of investments that you can choose between for the money in your account. This investment lineup covers all accepted important investment categories, or what we call asset classes, such as capital preservation investments, known otherwise as stable value funds, bond funds, and many different types of stock investments. And this gives you the choice and the flexibility to be as safe or as aggressive with your account balance as you want to be. If you're not inclined to choose between these, or you just haven't gotten around to it yet, the contributions that your employer makes into your account are invested in what they call a default choice. And specifically in your plan, it's the Vanguard Target Retirement Fund. This fund invests your money in a mix of investments, so categories. And as you might already be aware, financial advisors believe that we should keep a diversified approach to our retirement savings, our retirement account balances. The old saying being, don't put all your eggs in just one basket, of course. So this Target Retirement Fund splits your money for you automatically in what experts agree is an optimal way, so that you don't have to do it yourself. We'll talk more about these target date funds and their benefits a little later on in our presentation. As I've already said, this supplemental retirement plan is a great way, and for some it could be a crucial way to help you achieve the retirement that you want. Not only does it help you save for your future, it offers some additional advantages that can help you today and tomorrow, such as compound earnings. When contributions are made into your account, the money gets invested automatically and then starts generating investment earnings, which are automatically reinvested back in the accounts. And as a result, it starts compounding. So the interest starts earning interest on itself. Over time, compounding tends to have a significant impact on your annuity balance. And you're always in control. You always control how to invest the money. And even if you change jobs, the balance in your account still belongs to you. Choosing investments that are right for you and your money is a really important part of maximizing your supplemental retirement plan. As I mentioned earlier, when it comes to a retirement account, it's believed that a diversified approach is the best investment strategy. You can accomplish having an appropriately diversified portfolio easily and automatically by leaving your money in that age-appropriate Vanguard Target Retirement Fund that's available in your plan. Or alternatively, you can create your own mix using a variety of specialized funds that are also available in your lineup. It really depends on how hands-on or hands-off you'd like to be. If you want to be more hands-on, you may want to build and manage your own portfolio, again, using that wide variety of choices available within the plan's investment lineup. You choose the strategy that best meets your needs. As we discussed, if you're not ready to choose your investment options initially, that's okay. Your account will be directed into the age-appropriate target date fund. But know that at any time, you can change your investments either through a transaction done on our website or through our participant service center, talking with one of our licensed representatives. The Vanguard target funds I keep talking about with you are such a popular choice. Yes, they're the default choice, which would make them a popular choice right off the bat, but they're probably the hottest trend in the industry since they came out. They're professionally managed, and they provide you with that automatic mix or blend of investments that are created around your expected retirement date. Over time, by the way, as another nice aspect of these target funds, the mix gradually changes so that earlier in your working career, the fund keeps a heavier concentration of stock investments within its mix. And then as you age and get closer to retirement, the mix automatically moves or glides to a more conservative mix. The idea or the thought is that you want to try to grow your money more earlier in your career by being more aggressive, going for that, if you will, bigger bang on your buck by being more in the stock investments. And then protecting the money more later as you inch closer to retirement. Sorry, my PowerPoint jumped back a few slides. If you're inclined to maybe choose some of the other investments, or at least you wanted to learn more about them, you can find investment information such as the fund's prospectus or fund fact sheets right on our website. So if you've already logged into your account at some point, you have that ability where you can easily find this information in the investment section of the website when you're in your account. Once you're on the home page, it's easy to find either by going to the top of the page or the bottom of the home page. You can, again, easily and quickly find the investments section to click on. If you haven't created your own user profile yet to view your account, we encourage you to do so first off, but you'd like to maybe see some of this fund information before you actually go in and create your own account by registering. You can still find the fund information by using this web address you see here and then typing in this specific plan code that you see here. Again, this is only if you have not yet registered to be able to go in and see your own account. If you have, and I'm assuming most of you have, you will not need this information. You can just get to the same information right from your personal account. If you're looking for additional help with selecting an investment mix that's right for you, you can use an advice service that's available through the plan. As some of you may already know, your annuity plan offers you this free on-demand investment advice tool, and it can provide you with a customized recommendation for your investment mix. The program is called Morningstar Retirement Manager, and it's offered through this well-known and respected company named Morningstar, which is based out of Chicago. This is an online tool, once again, you can access through the John Hancock website. So it's a web-based tool. You can use it as often as you'd like, and it provides you with specific point-in-time advice on what investments they think you should select and with what percentage of your balance. You should have 8% in Fund A and 15% in Fund B and 11% in Fund C, et cetera, et cetera. The advice that they give you is based on your personal situation. So the recommendations are going to vary person to person. Again, because it's point in time, we encourage you to consider using this periodically. In other words, you use it once, it gives you what they deem to be an optimal investment recommended mix. You implement that by clicking a button to review and submit, and then you leave it alone. Well, it might be optimal for you at that moment, but by next year, maybe things have changed. You're a year older, a little closer to retirement. They might tell you to do something a little different. So again, it doesn't automatically change with you. It's just that one-time, point-in-time advice recommendation that they're giving you. To find Morningstar Retirement Manager on the John Hancock website, you simply scroll to the bottom of your home page, and there you'll find a carousel of tiles or boxes. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And these boxes, we call them landing areas. They showcase many of the most popular tools and resources that we offer, including this one here, Morningstar Retirement Manager. separate side point, if you have a retirement account from a past employer, whether it's another annuity plan like this one, or a 401k plan, even an IRA, you have the option of combining that into your CCRC supplemental plan. Combining accounts like that, we call it rolling old money into the new plan, has several potential advantages, including providing a more complete view of your overall retirement picture, enabling you to choose a single strategy for your investments, allowing you to track your progress towards reaching your retirement savings goal, and there's a potential for cost savings. So if you'd like to learn more about combining your accounts and what might be the right fit for you, you can speak with a John Hancock consolidation specialist by calling this number. It's different than the main number that you're given typically. If you use the main number is 855-312-2722, and they can redirect you to our rollover or consolidation specialist. But this would take you directly to that group, 877-525-7655. Again, that's for discussing a rollover situation that you might be interested in. So we talked about why it's important for you to have a plan for your retirement and how your supplemental retirement account is likely going to play a part, potentially a big part in that. Now it's time to take some action and maximize this great additional benefit your union provides you. If you haven't already done so, I encourage you to go to the John Hancock website. As you might be aware, the website has been revamped earlier this year, including a new website address. The new website address is myplan.johnhancock.com. If you are used to and maybe have locked in your brain the old website address, which is mylife.jhrps, which stood for John Hancock Retirement Plan Services.com, you can continue to use that, and we will redirect you automatically. But if you want to start getting used to the new web address, there it is right there, myplan.johnhancock.com. And once you're on that initial site, if you've already logged in at one point or another, you've therefore already created your security codes. You don't need to recreate them or reset them. Just keep using what you've always used and just log in. But if you're logging in for the very first time to any John Hancock retirement website, be it the new one or the prior one, this is the first time, then you would need to register. And that means setting up your 2 security codes. So you click on that grayish box, register now. And after you've completed your account registration, you'll be able to see your account balance on the home page and then easily jump to the investment section to view. And if you ever decide to change your current investment portfolio. If you need help logging in, I encourage you to speak with one of our John Hancock representatives. Again, we have that dedicated CRCC toll-free number. Our reps are available from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, and they'll be able to answer any question that you may have or assist you with any transaction that you may ever want to make. As an FYI, John Hancock is, of course, committed to providing you with a convenient but safe and secure online access to your retirement account. So to safeguard your account, when you register, we strongly encourage you to follow these guidelines. First, pick a username that's unique to you and difficult for others to guess. Second, create a strong password using a combination of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, special characters. Third, enter your mobile number and personal email address. This is a newer thing we're asking of you as an additional security layer. So this helps John Hancock keep your account safe by ensuring we can reach you either by a text message or an email to verify when changes are made to or certain transactions are attempted to be made on your account. And fourth, choose, as part of this, again, setting up your account profile, choose a security question from a drop-down menu of options, and then answer that question. John Hancock will need to ask you that same question at a later date if you ever need to reset either your two security codes, your username and password. As you explore our website, I know that you're going to find a lot of valuable tools and resources that can help set your retirement goal, as well as managing your day-to-day finances. In fact, we hope that during one of the first few times you're on the site, you'll check out what we call the Retirement Planner on the home page of our website. This personalized planning tool is one of the most powerful retirement income calculators in our industry. It uses a huge amount of data science so that you can find out if you're on track to enjoying a comfortable retirement. And if you find that instead there's a shortfall or a gap, we'll provide you with guidance on actions you can take to close the gap. You can also easily adjust the tool by adding additional information that this program wouldn't otherwise know about you, such as your pension plan. And then you'll get an updated calculation. I also recommend checking out My Learning Center, John Hancock's educational portal on the website. We've added a lot of additional content to it recently. You know, John Hancock has always placed a lot of emphasis on education and communication. I said that at the very beginning of our meeting. We know that people learn better in different ways, some by reading, some by watching, some by doing. So on the Learning Center, we have interesting articles to read, helpful videos to view, games to play, badges to earn, whatever helps you understand this topic better so that you can feel more confident that you're making good decisions and are on track to reach your retirement goal. So that is the end of our PowerPoint presentation. Again, fairly abbreviated. And for some of you, again, who have attended these sessions before, you hopefully can tell that there's nothing new here. We're not having this discussion this morning to announce any changes to your annuity plan. This is just, again, part of an ongoing effort to help you understand the multiple nuances of a plan like this and make the most of this very valuable benefit. So with that, I'd like to open the floor to questions. Knowing again that we are recording this session, you might not want to ask your question verbally. Instead, you could, I think, type your question into the chat section. But however you'd like to ask a question, Sherry and I are here, and that's what we're here for. And so please don't be shy. And again, Sherry, if there's something that I need to know to allow people to be able to speak, please help me in that regard. Otherwise, would we just assume that people can unmute them?
Yeah, in order to ask a question, at the top right of your screen, there should be a orange box with a white arrow. So you'd click on the orange box with the white arrow to kind of expand your pane. And then you'll have a little question icon that you can click on to type your question. I do see, Tom, a question coming through, typed question coming through.
Okay. As we wait for
that
to
have that, or would
let me see here. So do I understand I can close out my IRA or CDs from my bank and place that money in my John Hancock retirement fund at any time, even after I retire? It really depends on that account that you're considering moving. Again, the term we use is rolling into this supplemental plan. It has to be a similar tax classification. It has to be pre-tax money. So the IRA potentially would qualify. A CD that is money that's already been taxed, that would not qualify. If you had, say, an old retirement balance from a prior employer, and that was pre-tax money, and you moved that when you left that employer to an IRA, an individual retirement account, and an IRA is not an investment itself, it's just a tax shelter. Once the money is under that tax shelter, you still choose how to invest it. And so if you had chosen to set up your IRA with your local credit union or bank, they may have given you the CD as something to invest in. And so potentially the answer therefore would be yes, if money's in a CD, but it had come from an old retirement plan, it could be moved into this plan. But be careful that CDs often have surrender charges if the money hasn't been in there long enough. So you want to make sure that you're not paying any unnecessary fees for this kind of a transaction. You really shouldn't need to. Does John Hancock offer Roth IRAs? Yes, we do. Again, that would be separate from the supplemental plan. You could set it up yourself with one of our telephone specialists. Are you available 24/7? Our telephone reps are available 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday Central Time, Monday through Friday. The website is 24/7. The automated system of the CRCC toll-free number is 24/7, but reps 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Can I move money out of stocks into the more conservative plan online? And if so, how quickly does that change take place? Yes, or vice versa. So let's say that we use your example. To this point, you've had your entire balance in one of the many different stock investments in the plan. Now, we wouldn't have recommended that, first off, because we recommend a diversified approach. But that aside, let's say that's what you've been doing. And I know many people do. They tend to gravitate to extremes. And now you're thinking, oh boy, the market's about to go down. I need to get my money out of this stock fund while the getting's good. So you intend to move that entire balance out of the stock fund into the stable value fund, which is the most conservative choice in your plan. You can request that change through our website or through our toll-free number, whichever system you find easier at that moment. And if you make it the change by 3 o'clock Central Time on a business day, it's done that day for you. After 3 o'clock, it's done the next business day for you. So if you logged in right now, being that it's a Saturday, it wouldn't be done until after business closes on Monday. Very good question. So again, it goes without saying that we try to discourage you from getting into a market timing mentality. We want you to remember this is a retirement account and it's meant, therefore, to be more of a longer term investment approach. That buy and hold diversified approach is what's always recommended. But that's not to say that you can't ignore that and do whatever it is you feel you need to do on a given day. How do I make, well, actually, let me get, how long after the last contribution before we have access to our money? If you are retired and retirement age, as it pertains to the supplemental plan, is age 60, then you have access to the money immediately. Otherwise, it is 24 months of no contributions, 24 consecutive months for you to access the money. That would be, again, as someone who's considered to be a terminated member. If it's less than 5,000, it would be 12 consecutive months. There is a possibility of getting out in-service withdrawals you might be aware of. You could take out one per 12 months. And that's only for money that's been in the account for 24 months or longer. You can also take up to 2 hardship withdrawals within a 12-month rolling cycle. In-service withdrawals would include things like money that you've rolled into the plan at one earlier point, or if you're 59 and a half or older, you could take out 1 per 12 months. So if it's something that you're considering, you would need to get the withdrawal form from John Hancock and then fill it out and submit it to the fund office for approval for you to proceed and get that withdrawal. How do I make withdrawals? Is tax withheld on the withdrawal? So I answered part of the question already. You request the form from us, fill it out, send it into the fund office for approval and completion. Is money taxed? Yes, this is pre-tax money. It's not tax-free, unfortunately. So the way this works is whatever you request as a withdrawal, once it's approved, we will send you that amount minus 20%, which we by law have to send to the IRS as a prepayment in taxes for you. So you request a check for $1,000, you get $800, IRS gets $200, but they're not done with you yet. Again, what they'll do is they'll look at this withdrawal you took out as income, they'll lump it together with anything else you made over the course of that year, determine what tax bracket you ultimately belong in, and then settle up with you on what you actually owe on that withdrawal the following April. Plus, at that point, state income taxes could also apply. Can I roll over my pension into my Roth IRA? The answer would be no. I thought first I read the question and I thought you were going to ask, can I roll over my pension into my annuity fund? And if the pension gave you a lump sum option, that could be a possibility, but otherwise the two would remain separate. But the question is asking, can I roll over my pension to my Roth IRA? Your pension is going to be kept separate. You don't want to roll your pension into your Roth IRA. No, the Roth IRA is after-tax money. You've already paid tax on the contribution, so therefore you'd have to pay the tax on that pension you receive, and then the remaining portion could be rolled into the Roth, and it's just too big of a tax hit for most people, so it's not something you'd want to do. I'm 59.
Tom, I want to just interject here for 1 second. Yes. For those of you listening, Tom is right. You cannot roll your monthly pension into a Roth IRA. There is a 10% payment option on your pension that you may be able to roll over. But today, we're here to talk about John Hancock. If any of you are interested, on Saturday, November 7th, we have a pre-retirement webinar that lasts about 3 hours. And it actually talks about the pension plan and the retiree insurance. So if you're interested in hearing more about the pension plan and maybe some of your rollover options with the pension plan, or about the retiree health benefits and insurance, you can register for that. And you can register for that one by going to the Apprentice School website. It's CHICAP.org, CHICAP.org. You'd click on the blue bar under the skill advancement option, and then at the bottom of the skill advancement list, there's a pre-retirement seminar. So you can click on the link there to register for the November 7th pension webinar, because I do see, Tom, there's another question here from a gentleman about health insurance premiums. So we can deal with those questions at the November 7th webinar. So I'll be quiet now, Tom, and let you continue talking. Thank you so much for the chance.
No, please, you're always welcome. In fact, it's very helpful to me as well, because I am not kept up on all of your pension details, as we don't administer that for you. And you might want to, Sherry, might want to continue helping me with this next question about the taking out monthly payments from the annuity to pay for the insurance. The question ultimately is, can it be done internally so I don't have to receive a check and then cut a different check for the insurance? My guess is the answer is no, it can't be done internally. But since they're asking about the fund office, maybe it's best if you add a little something to this question.
Sure. Again, we'll deal with that at the November 7th webinar if anyone's interested in that. But just a quick answer today, retiree health benefit premiums, health insurance premiums are deducted directly from your monthly pension check. More details on that, please give the fund office a call or attend the November 7th webinar. Thank you.
So that would be your monthly pension, not your annuity. Again, to know that you have those two separate retirement plans. Is there a mandatory age that I have to take a percent of my annuity? Wonderful question. And I'm sorry I didn't actually mention this. Many of you will never run into this because whether you retire at age 59, 60, 62, 65, at that point, you'll start taking money from your annuity accounts. And so again, it's not relevant. But if you don't need to take money from this annuity plan, and ideally, you'd like to just continue to leave this balance alone and maybe ultimately give it to your kids or grandkids. You can't do that completely if you live past age 72, because at age 72, the IRS, in essence, says to all of us with an account like this, listen, we've let you push taxes off on this money long enough. We need to start getting something from you. And so, yes, just as the question was asked, you need to start taking a mandatory minimum amount. It's based on life expectancy, and the process is called an RMD, required minimum distribution. So if to that point you had not taken any money from the annuity and now you've reached age 72, you're allowed to leave the balance in the annuity plan and just take out that necessary RMD each year thereafter. Upon retirement, how do we determine our monthly income from this plan? So what you'd want to do as part of this retirement plan that I began telling you about today is get an idea as to your monthly income needs in your retirement. And then once you have that amount pretty much understood, then you take a look at your different income sources. And you might say, okay, I need $4,000 a month, and I'm going to get X amount from Social Security. I'm going to get X amount from my pension. And then you'd probably want to use the supplemental plan to make up any deficiencies, or use the supplemental annuity plan to just give yourself that little extra to do, those little things you'd like to do. So use those dedicated sources of income to pay for the needs, and then maybe use the money in the supplemental account to help pay for the wants, if that makes sense. But you have flexibility there. You get to choose by taking out installments what you'd like to take. So that's what most people will do, is just take out a partial amount. So you're only paying tax on what you're withdrawing. The remaining balance will stay in the account tax deferred. You don't want to take out the lump sum in most cases, because the IRS is looking at that as income, and they're going to say, boy, this person did pretty darn well for themselves that year, and they're going to throw you in the highest tax bracket they can, which of course is what you want to avoid. So just take out a bit at a time as you need it. I've seen a chart that shows my monthly income each year of my age. Part of that payment is my pension. The balance is my annuity fund contribution. Where is my annuity money at during this time? And does value fluctuate with the markets, et cetera, or is it in something very stable? And what would that be? Well, that's what's nice about the annuity plan, is you get to choose. And yes, your account you'll have that daily balance which differs from your pension. Your pension, you don't have a daily balance. You just accrue a monthly amount or benefit, as it's called, that you're going to get in your retirement years. Like Social Security. No one ever says, what's your Social Security account balance? You don't have one. You have a monthly amount that you've accrued that you'll get in your retirement. So pension, Social Security is similar in that respect. Your annuity plan, AKA your supplemental retirement account, is different. That's an account balance like your savings account, where you see the dollar figure and you can take from that dollar amount whatever it is that you need when you need it. And depending on how that balance is invested, it might fluctuate day to day based on market volatility, or it might not if you don't have any of your balance in the stock investments. So if you're concerned about losing some of your balance in the annuity, you might, as an extreme, keep everything in the stable value option. And it's like, again, having money in a savings account, nice and safe. You get a 2 to 4% interest on the money each year, and that's the extent of it. But if you want to go for a bigger gain on your money than 2 or 3% a year, then you have to take the chance of losing a bit of it too. And that means having it in the stock market, where you go through those day-to-day fluctuations. You might be saying, I don't want any part of that. You don't need to. But others would say, hey, listen, the stock market's had one good year after another from 2009 to 2020. So why not go for that? The odds are in my favor. People feel very differently about that. And that's where ultimately, as the financial advisor community feels like, okay, having some sort of a mix could be beneficial. Now, the mix changes. The optimal mix is not the same for everybody. When you're young and just starting in your career, say you're 25, you have a long time to go before retirement. And so therefore, the experts typically say, go heavy in the stock investments. If you lose a little bit now, who really cares? But by being so heavy in stocks, historically, you achieve about a 10% positive gain out of that year to year. But you don't want to be taking that same risk when you're right there at retirement or in your retirement, because you can't afford to see a 10% loss in one given year. So you alter that mix and create something that's much safer overall, but still keep a little something in stock investments. If you keep a 20% stock, 40% bond, 40% stable kind of a split, there's been only 1 year where you would have experienced a loss in the last 75 years. And that was that awful 2008 year. And the loss was only about 4% of your balance. Every other year you would have had some kind of a gain. And the average gain by having that kind of a split or blend would be double what it would have been if you had just kept everything in stable. So for all intents and purposes, you maintain safety, but you also achieved a heck of a lot better gain on the money than you would have if you kept everything in the safest choice. So again, that's what advisors recommend. You keep some kind of a diversified mix, but don't assume that means going heavy in stock funds if you're in your 50s or 60s. That was a very long-winded answer, and I'm sorry I got off track on that a bit. I don't see any other question that has come in.
I agree. I don't see any other questions either. So thank you, Tom, for your presentation. And I want to thank all of you for attending today's webinar. Again, remember there's a pension webinar on November 7th. Even if you're not yet retirement age, you can tune in and learn a little bit about how your retirement options work. We have recorded today's session, and we will be posting that to the fund office website probably later this week. It might take a few days, but we'll get it recorded in case you missed something and you'd like to go back and review what Tom said again. Also, as you exit the webinar today, or after you hit the exit button on the webinar today, a very short survey, just 3 or 4 questions, will come up. And we'd appreciate a moment of your time to fill out that survey and let us know how we did today and what we might be able to change for future presentations. Your feedback is definitely important to us. So thank you for attending. And Tom, thank you so much for your presentation. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thanks, Tom. I hope everyone has a good weekend and stays safe out there. Please go ahead, Tom.
No, you said it perfectly. And I also want to wish everybody a good weekend. Please stay safe. And I look forward to talking with you again somewhere soon down the road.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
So long.